Practice makes the memory perfect, or the art of photographic memory and information recall. Since I never see it float by X, we're going to discuss how all of you can strengthen your mind for other practices as listed: lucid dreaming, spellcasting, meditation, instant recall, repair years of drinking, fortify memory and creativity when using weed, get your ADHD working for you instead of against you, build a proper and functioning tulpa that you can use all your life. Students, absorb information like a sponge. The human mind is amazing in its ability to recall, sort, and develop information. Some of the nuttier of you, I suspect, will find this handy. When I was growing up in Catholic school, it was a time that you could not have ever graduated grade 6 without knowing about 300 pages of text memorized about meaningless tripe. Everything from canonical law, Lord's prayers, hymns, chants, what have you. These are the techniques as I learned them in a time everyone learned Latin while in school, regardless of their inclination. You would be surprised what the young minds absorb when it has no perceived idea of the limitations of memory. To this day, I have the entire C.S. Lewis collection memorized and could rewrite it from nothing if I was required. But that was a common theme before education shit the bed and turned into a babysitting service. You were taught how to use the computer on top of your neck. Meditation is only a small part of the process. A tulpa is a small part of the process. I've got 5 of them for different tasks. This, however, is the full method to creating a mind that absorbs information and presents it correctly every time. If there is time this morning, I will discuss how to perform flash calculation. But before any of the neat and super fancy mind tricks can be used, a person's memory must become the hardened tool it needs to be. And that requires kicking in the back door of your mind to expand memory. Think of it like sticking 64 gigs of memory in your cabezas. You are going to need space to move ideas around, and it's got to be organized. These techniques do not require a website or a book or anything. Only thing needed is yourself, this information, and 30 minutes a day. So first, some basic meditation techniques used in old-school Catholic school. If you think Buddhist monks were the only ones floating off floors and performing mental gymnastics, you would be mistaken. Catholic monks were trained to be living libraries and calculators. They would be sent to areas of the world with a collection of millions of pages of religious nonsense, procedures, processes, law, everything. To this day, I still have no idea why I recall the entire collection of philosophy of Pseudo-Dionysius the Areopagite, nor why it was that important in 5th grade. However, you were all born with a photographic memory. We never lose it. People just lose the ability to use it. Actually, more correctly, people misplaced the access to it. You learned phenomenal things as a small child, languages, social skills, etc. Then you went to school to learn a superior way to learn, or so we are led to believe. Statistics show that once we enter school based on the rote memory system of learning, learning slows down from that point on. So what is the primary thing that changed? You learned how to read. By learning how to read, no matter how ineffective it may be for you, you were force-fed to learn it, or you were ostracized, a renegade. Some of those renegades are the same people that have carried over their photographic memory as an adult. You see, the mechanics to learn to read, such as entrained tunnel vision, directly oppose your natural ability to access and utilize the photographic memory. By learning reading, a learned brain function, you gave up access to your natural brain function of the photographic memory. Solution: you can learn how to access your natural photographic memory again by learning mental photography. What's even more amazing is that while you are learning how to access your photographic memory, you start to see many other things start happening from exercising your brain this way. This can be done by anyone of any age. So let's start with how to prepare yourself to actually take mental photographs. Sorting them is a different task altogether. That's where tulpas or the original memory management system happens. First though, you need to build the foundations to drop a tulpa into. A tulpa without real-world information to access is worthless and a toy that serves zero purpose. Process 1. Relaxing the mind with the Kundalini visualization. If I had 8 hours to chop down a tree, I'd spend 6 hours sharpening the axe. Abraham Lincoln. I'm going to show Kundalini meditation techniques to start. For those that care, it's part of the Vedic tradition. Over the years, from being a young man to now, I've found that the Catholic schools taught a very sloppy and slow method to developing the proper mental state, usually built with nuns and rulers across hands/heads/necks. Since most of you under the age of 30 have never had an adult touch you during ages 1 through 18 to reinforce mental development in a school setting by pain, I'm going to have to show you all how to use tools to strengthen soft, doughy minds to prepare for the challenges coming for all of you. Memorization by association is the end goal of the process. Association is one of the first things that you will learn when it comes to obtaining a photographic memory. This comes in useful for things like first encounters. You never have to worry about remembering a person's name because you will know how to associate their name with something that will allow you to remember who they are. An example of this would be associating the name of a tall person named Ben with Big Ben. This is the premise behind association. Using something that will remind you of a particular word, or in this case, name. It may be unrelated or even nonsensical. The important thing is to make sure it is something that will allow you to recall the original information. The other method I'm going to show you is image association. Image association is another way to help remember people, places, and numbers. Basically, it is the use of images to invoke recall. So using the same example of a tall man named Ben, instead of thinking of the words Big Ben for association, you would picture the Big Ben Tower. This is one of the ways to enjoy the benefits of a photographic memory without having to be born with it. It makes remembering things easier. These are just two examples of how you can train your own memory to take on the benefits of a photographic memory. There are a number of places that you can pick up more information on how you can train your memory. There are books, videos, and audio series to assist you, and it is important to remember that practice is essential to being able to train your memory. Since most of you are easily distracted because the modern education system has built you useless on purpose, plus given 99% of your really dumb ideas on how the mind works. Kundalini practice has some great tools to use in order to slip into the required mental state to start the process of association and honing the mind to crystal clear lucidity. First step is learning how to zone out and fix the mind in the proper receptive state, and placing your mind outside your body in a good mood. Mood, the way you feel, has a lot to do with association. A. Relaxing the body. 1. Lie comfortably on your back. Close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths, imagining that you are exhaling all your worries and tensions with each out-breath, and inhaling deep feelings of relaxation and peacefulness with each in-breath. 2. Direct your attention to your feet. Imagine they are becoming warm, as though steeped in warm water, with currents of warmth flowing through them. They gradually become very pleasantly relaxed and heavy. 3. Repeat these with your legs, thighs, hips, lower and upper back, shoulder, hands, wrists, lower arms, upper arms, chest, stomach, abdomen. Progressively, your feeling of relaxation deepens, heavy and warm. 4. Now imagine the same with your neck, back of head, scalp, forehead, eyes, and eyeballs. Let your mouth open slightly, with your tongue lying limp inside. Then your jaws, chin, and throat get relaxed. Now you are in a state of very deep relaxation, heaviness, and warmth. 5. Next, imagine you are going down in an elevator, 20 floors downwards. As you count each passing floor, from 1 to 20, you become more and more totally relaxed. Then, when you reach the bottom and the elevator doors open, you find yourself in a beautiful scene. Perhaps a garden, a mountain vale, or a solitary beach. It is someplace where you have been before, and so you easily recall those earlier feelings of being at peace with yourself, with nature, and the entire universe. 6. Suddenly you realize that you are no longer alone. There is someone with you. He or she is someone you trust and like very much. It is a person you are or were very intimate with. Someone with whom you are totally relaxed. It feels so good to be with that special companion that your whole being is filled with joy, contentment with yourself without judgment. Second step now that your body is relaxed. You must shut down the monkey mind. Chattering, noisy, full of thoughts zipping around, like a tree full of monkeys making a lot of noise about nothing. Don't bother contemplating it. That's your subconscious and conscious mind throwing ideas around and battling over them. To get the memory bank working for you, you have to act as your own referee. Both your subconscious and conscious brain need to be given some box time to settle down, so you distract it or trick yourself into letting go for the moment. B. Relaxing the mind. 1. Then you realize that you are alone again. You find yourself lying there alone in that relaxing place, fully grounded to the earth beneath you, and you now begin to imagine a fine tube inside you, extending from the bottom of your body to the crown of your head. You imagine that there is a fluid inside the tube, rising slowly within it like the mercury in a thermometer. 2. The fluid in the tube begins to rise and to change color kaleidoscopically as it rises, taking up all the colors of the rainbow. At the bottom of the tube, the fluid is violet, midway to your navel, indigo, navel, blue, heart region, green, throat, yellow, forehead, orange, and at the crown, red. 3. Finally, when the fluid reaches the crown of your head, it magically fountains out through a very fine hole there. It covers and bathes your entire body and your very being with a feeling of peace, total calm, and contentment. You feel as though you have become an inert doll made of salt, which has been dipped into the sea so that you melt totally. You become one with the surrounding ocean. 3rd step, auto-programming of tulpas. I mentioned earlier that I have 5 of them. The first one I built when I was 8 years old was a house, and in my house I have hundreds of rooms. Each room has something unique and different in it to associate a task. The rest of my tulpas are librarians that understand the house. Each tulpa acting as a librarian understands different things. I have a handyman that memorizes fixing stuff, very handy when I need to absorb YouTube videos of car repair or carpentry or whatever physical stuff I need to learn that I don't have the physical prowess down. Another knows where technical information is and sorts it for me, like an infinite database of useless and useful facts, stats, news, places, names, things. I even made a cook to memorize recipes to impress friends and family with a recipe I see happen once. My 4th is a wizard. He wanders around, spouts spells, meditations, psychic defense, etc. Anything I don't need in the other 99.9% of my life he deals with. To make that happen, though, you need to build a foundation to contain and visualize the information you have at your disposal. The next 3 sections is the meat of getting it going. C. Tulpa construction. 1. Next, imagine that you are in a special place of your very own. It is your sanctuary, where you can be highly creative and productive. It is a secret place where you can also meet your personal advisor or guru. Perhaps it is a room with a panoramic view, a room that you have furnished with great care. There is a large whiteboard with highlighter pens, 2 full-length mirrors, and other things that you need. 2. So you are now in that special place of yours. You are facing the whiteboard, and you slowly walk up to it. You pick up a yellow highlighter pen, uncap it, and begin to write the syllable cling. You also say this to yourself mentally. Say 6 times. If your mind wanders, as it possibly may, let it do so. When you remember the sound again, just repeat it some more for as long as you wish, until your mind is calm and relaxed. 3. Then, on that whiteboard of your mind, you begin to write it in yellow again. You write a brief, positively worded affirmation about your goals. It is in the present tense, as if you have already achieved what you wanted. You also repeat the affirmation to yourself mentally, or even out loud if you wish. I easily achieve whatever your goal is. And finally, you visualize it too. You visualize a past success in detail, and then visualize in full detail that your present goal too is already achieved. Your friends and well-wishers are shaking your hand and congratulating you, and it feels truly wonderful to be such an outstanding achiever. D. Reinforcing and anchoring. 1. You are now in a deeply relaxed and self-confident state. You are therefore ready to reinforce your own self-programming by looking into the mirror of your mind and visualizing the positive outcomes you want in your life. You do so by using all 3 of your thinking modalities, see E below. Viz, the visual, i.e. images, the auditory, i.e. sounds, and the kinesthesic, i.e. feelings. 2. So you turn next to the 2 mirrors that you have in your special room. The first mirror has a blue frame, and in it you visualize in detail your problem situation, whatever it is that you want to change. Immediately thereafter you look into the second mirror, which has a white frame, and is to the left of the first one. In it you see the solution, the desired new situation, clearly and in vivid detail, and you feel the joy of achievement. 3. repeat this process of seeing the problem and the solution a number of times. Each time you see the problem in the blue-framed mirror, you immediately see the solution in the white-framed mirror to the left of it. And each time you see that solution, you form a circle with your thumb and forefinger and say, "Yes, I can." This anchors your feelings of confidence and enthusiasm and triggers them off each time you repeat this special gesture or anchor. 4. It is now time to invite your personal advisor or guru into your special place. He or she may be someone you actually know or someone that you simply imagine. It is a being who is very wise and resourceful. Visualize the person clearly and ask for advice. Imagine getting exactly the advice you need. 5. You finally end your meditation by gradually counting from 20 to 1. As you pass 15, and also at 15 and 10, you tell yourself, "I come up feeling relaxed and alert." You then go about your daily activities, enthusiastically, feeling progressively better each time you practice the technique. Like anything, practice makes perfect. This includes building your memory to uber status and the stuff you want to memorize and recall. E. Daily practice. 1. Regular practice makes the process more and more enjoyable, and also improves the effect. So do it twice a day for 15 to 20 minutes, just after waking up in the morning and just before sleeping at night, and if possible, a third time at midday. And do it regularly for 21 days, which is the time needed to create a new habit. 2. The visual, the auditory, and the kinestesic modalities refer to the three main ways in which the human mind thinks, according to neuro-linguistic programming, NLP. Viz, images, sounds, and feelings, respectively. 3. The colors in the tube are the rainbow colors VIBGYOR. 4. While visualizing, it is not important to have your images picture perfect. It is the feeling of vividness that causes the effects of relaxation, not the perception of the imagery. 5. You will be able to use the syllable kling as a keyword or mnemonic, along with your thumb circle anchor, anytime in your daily round, and it will trigger off your feelings of relaxed confidence, optimism, and enthusiasm. I hope this helps some of you build better lives. Again, it's sad that most of the schools do not teach kids how to think or use their brains. Instead, education has become a massive bullshit and propaganda to make people feel better about their shitty countries respectively. I've groomed the techniques above to help anyone develop their memory. In a month or so, I'll write another one of these to teach you how to do incredibly complex math in your heads without anything but your minds.